It's classic time for Thunder Valley Outdoor Future Pro Tour anglers, and today's show is designed to help our anglers prepare for the highlight event of the season, the Future Pro Tour Classic, a championship event where those anglers that have accumulated the highest points over the course of a 7-event season are invited to compete in what has become the most prestigious amateur-level bass fishing title in the West. At stake in this championship, the keys to a brand new, fully rigged Ranger boat with Evinrude package, valued at over $35,000, along with all of the credentials to be considered the best amateur team in the Western United States. The layout is indeed a challenging one, as on day one, anglers will compete on Folsom Lake, a fertile deep water impoundment located in the heart of California's capital city, loaded with aggressive smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass. And then on day two, the final day of competition, Future Pro Tour anglers will put away their shallow water rigs and head to the world-famous California Delta, a river system with over 1,000 miles of sloughs and levees, and attempt to pattern the double-digit largemouth bass that prowl its tule-lined banks. Stay with us as we get on the water and help our anglers break down Folsom Lake and the California Delta and prepare for the biggest event of the year, the Thunder Valley Outdoors Future Pro Tour Classic.
A guaranteed Mini Cooper every Friday and Saturday this month during the $300,000 Magic Mini Madness giveaway at Thunder Valley Casino Resort.
Precision-built performance, responsive engineering, and revolutionary design. Welcome to the accelerated look, feel, and all-out muscle of the Ranger Z520 Comanche. Powered with the 250 HO Evinrude E-Tech, the only outboard with no dealer schedule maintenance for 3 years. This rig is built to excel. The Ranger Z520 and Evinrude 250 HO. Don't just separate yourself from the pack, leave it. Evinrude E-Tech. Spend more time on the water.
Day one of the Future Pro Tour Classic will be held on Folsom Lake, and we met with top guide Don Paganelli of Paganelli's Guide Service to find out what it would take for anglers to become successful on Folsom Lake during the Future Pro Classic. We're here with Don Paganelli from Paganelli's Guide Service. Don is one of the top guides on Folsom Lake and a lot of the Northern California lakes like Berryessa and Orville, but in particular Folsom, he knows quite a bit. Don, welcome.
Hi Vince, thanks for having me.
We wanted to bring you in so that some of these guys that are fishing, that are going to be fishing the Classic, they live in Fresno, they live in Modesto, and even the guys that live here in Northern California, a lot of guys don't fish Folsom Lake.
Right.
It is a productive lake, and we wanted you to come in and give us a little breakdown and give these guys an idea of what they can expect come Classic time in 2 weeks. Talk about Folsom Lake, please.
Well, Folsom Lake, as you know, has got the North Fork and the South Fork of the American River coming together at a dam to form Folsom Lake.
Okay.
It doesn't have a lot of features to it when it comes to some of the lakes you're used to fishing, where you see a lot of boat docks and trees and structure. They're going to see a lot of barren areas when they first look at the lake, because the lake is going to be down. The lake is falling right now as we speak. It's fallen 3.5 feet in the last week.
So we have falling condition where the lake is dropping.
Well, we're hoping by your tournament time that the lake starts to level off from the dropping. So it's not really dropping so much. I'm hoping by that time that it's already dropped out to where they're going to hold it for a while, and then the fish will get back into a better pattern, because they don't like it when that water's falling. It puts them in kind of a mode to where they keep pulling away, and they haven't really established an area to hold for a while. Well, Folsom Lake is one of those lakes where, because of the cold water coming in from the two forks, and it's not a real big lake, it turns over real fast. So when we look for a fall bite, it only lasts for a week to 2 weeks usually, because it turns over so quickly. So I'm assuming that by the time your tournament shows up for this, the lake will have turned over and will be into a more winter pattern, which means a slower bite. There's not going to be much of a reaction bite. 1 or 2 people may find a reaction fish, but most of the fishing is going to be slow, methodical, and looking for bait fish, groups of bait fish in some of the deeper creek channels, fishing outside points, and looking for any structure they might be able to find in the way of rock piles ledges, stuff off the main channels.
Now, Folsom Lake has 3 species of bass that are prevalent.
Yes.
They have smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass. Of those 3 species, which will be the most aggressive that you feel at this time of year?
Spotted bass. Spotted bass will be the most aggressive that time of year.
Why is that?
They're more of a cold water fish. They really like the colder conditions. They're always more aggressive than the other 2 bass. I have caught some smallmouth, but not as much as I'm catching the spotted bass up there.
Okay, Don, we talked about the structure, we talked about the water conditions, about the transitional fishing, what kind of bass there are in there. Let's put the meat and the potatoes together here. What kind of baits do you prefer, and do you think will help these guys catch some fish?
Well, my favorite baits, starting with jigs, your browns and your crawdad patterns, and I tend to fish a heavier jig, 3/4 to an ounce, only because they make a lot of noise down there, and I can feel it down there from 20 to 50 feet deep. I'll fish it with a craw trailer. My favorite craw trailer is usually going to be a Yamamoto twin-tail grub, or I may fish a hula grub on just a standard football jig head.
Okay.
About 3/4 ounce to 1 ounce.
And that goes along with your thing of slowing it down.
Slowing it down and
okay.
fishing everything as if it was something in the wintertime, because everything moves slower when the water's cold.
Okay, what's your next selection?
Next thing is going to be plastic worms, and I'm fishing those on either a dart head or a Carolina rig, or a type of a shaky head, whatever that person's more confident in fishing, because a lot of this is going to be confidence. You're fishing with your favorite confidence rigs when it comes to jigs, or the Carolina rig is my favorite, because I can drag it real slow and feel it down there going through all the rocks and everything like that. I like the shad patterns and the crawdad patterns.
Any particular length?
4 or 6 inch.
Okay.
And I'll go in between sizes and jump back and forth until I find what they want.
Okay. What's next?
Well, another successful pattern up there is drop shotting. Drop shotting, I like to use something that's a little bit more realistic, like these Bastrix minnows. Their primary forage up there is pond smelt, and the bait fish up there are very small, generally 1.5 inches to 2 inches at the max. So I'll try the 2 different size of the Bastrix minnows in that pattern on a drop shot rig.
Kind of a natural call.
And again, we're fishing these really slow down there and just shake it a little bit and then hold it, shake it a little bit and hold it. And then the grub, for guys that like to fish a grub, my favorite color is a smoke with a blue flake, and I'll fish that real slow. I'll throw it out, let it sink down on these points, and just start reeling it really slow, and you're just waiting for a pressure bite. That's really all you're going to feel, is just some pressure on it.
Okay, don't be surprised, guys. You can catch some big fish on
yes.
drop shot.
Caught a lot of big fish up there on all these baits.
Okay, and what do we have next here?
Next thing we've got is spoons, which that time of year can be really productive. But then you're looking for groups of bait fish that are starting to ball up, and you're looking for fish that are working these bait balls. And if you can find that, you can usually put a pretty fast limit in a boat with these spoons. My favorite spoon are these Blade Runner spoons, and again, the shad patterns, whether it's the Morning Dawn, the shad, or the pearl and chartreuse, in the 1 3/4 or the 1 1/4 ounce. Those are my 2 sizes. And again, sometimes that smaller spoon is more productive because you're downsizing your bait sometimes to match the hatch.
Okay, and you can also go to Don Paganelli's Bass Fishing Experience. What's the website?
Guidebass.com.
Guidebass.com. Okay.
Or they can call me.
Okay, what's your number?
916-502-FISH.
502-FISH, that makes it pretty easy. Guys, it's classic time, and it's all on the line now. $35,000 Ranger boat with Evinrude package. We will see you at the Classic and see you out on the water.
As a team owner in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, I know pleasing fans is a top priority, because without the fans, there'd be no NASCAR. Just like if it weren't for customers, there'd be no Nationwide. That's why they serve their customers' needs, not shareholder profits. Because as a mutual, Nationwide doesn't report to Wall Street. They report to their customers. And that's just one more reason why the Earnhardt family has trusted Nationwide for more than 30 years. Nationwide is on your side.
The race for the 2011 Navionics Cup is at its final leg as qualifiers compete for a full promotional sponsorship that includes official placement on the Navionics promotional staff, custom jersey, decal wrap boat, paid entry fees, and a $500 gas card to help offset expenses. Navionics is a leader in electronic mapping charts, and this technology has been a key factor for success amongst amateur and professional level anglers alike, providing that extra edge for locating the most productive fishing areas on any body of water. You can find out more about Navionics by visiting www.navionics.com or download the Navionics application to your iPhone, Droid phone, or iPad for only $9.99. The Thunder Valley Outdoor Future Pro Tour Classic is truly a test for the best, and here are a list of the qualifiers for each region. Thunder Valley Casino Resort supports the Western angler through its association through the Future Pro Tour, but it doesn't end there. They also support the local area through the United Auburn Indian Community. And we have with us today Dave Kaiser, who's the head of the Tribal Council for the United Auburn Indian Community. Dave, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about the United Auburn Indian Community, how it got started, and what are some of the things that you all do for Placer County and counties at large?
All right. As we all know, that there was a tribe in Auburn during the early 1900s. Afterwards, during the 30s and 40s, there was a kind of an organization, a reorganization of the people, and a lot of people came together in this area, Miwoks and Maitis and Nishanan people. And in 1994, Clinton signed the Restoration Act for the Auburn Band, which included, now we call it the United Auburn Indian Community, which is many different types of natives in the closer area.
Okay.
And we formed up, we started our government, and our government has a lot of programs.
Okay.
And
what are some of those programs that you all?
A lot of the, some of the programs that we have are Habitat for Humanity, Native American scholarships.
Oh, great.
We support the local elementary schools, you know, equipment when they need monies for equipment or a gym class, you know, stuff like that.
Things that actually benefit people.
Yes, absolutely. Tuitions for students that want to go to college. We also give to organizations that deal a lot with giving out food to the community, food and water and shelter, clothing.
Community services, what about like sheriff's department and
yes,
things like
absolutely.
that?
Yeah, we actually helped put in money and buy Placer County Sheriff's new helicopter. They call it the Green Thunder.
All right.
And just recently they had a rescue up in the Sierra Nevadas. Somebody, they hiked down into this valley and they couldn't get out. And it was the Green Thunder that went down and got them.
So some of the things you do, not only they just help the local communities, and they help communities at large.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we also helped put out that fire. We sent our firemen from Thunder Valley Casino into Lincoln when that tanker caught on fire just recently, and we provided water and food, and we provided some well-needed rest for the firefighters when they came. They needed some rest, but they were at it for 24 hours, so we put them up in our hotel.
Well, Thunder Valley Casino is a great benefactor to the Auburn Indian community, and we are really happy to be part of that, and we want to encourage everyone to support what they support. These programs are in need of funding, and we're glad that the Thunder Valley Casino Resort is a big part of making that happen. United Auburn Indian Community, part of the greater Placer County area and the community at large. Thanks, Dave, for being with us.
Thank you.
Nationwide Insurance, talk to me.
Should I bundle all my policies with Nationwide Insurance?
Watch this. On one hand, you have your home insurance with one company, and on another hand, you have your auto with another. And on another hand, you have your life with another. But when you bundle them all together with Nationwide Insurance, they all work together perfectly, and you could save 25%. Wow. On the wrist. Nationwide is on your side.
Welcome Welcome everybody to another edition of the Future Pro Tour. We're here today on the California Delta with fishing phenom Alan Fong from the Fisherman's Warehouse. And what we're doing today is we're trying to help our anglers get prepared for the Future Pro Tour Classic, which will be November 5th and 6th on the California Delta, day 2, and on day 1, Folsom Lake. But today we're going to go out and throw some top water, look at the tide situations, and help our guys prepare for one of the biggest tournaments of their life. At stake, a $35,000 Ranger boat with Evinrude package for the guys to win. You stay tuned and we'll see if we can go out there and get some fish and see what's happening on the California Delta. Stay tuned. Alan, why are we not fishing the bank? Normally, typically Delta fishermen fish the bank. I see you're on these burns that are in the middle of the channel here in 14 Miles.
Yeah, we're in fishing these burns where we got a big flat here. It only goes about 5 to 7 feet all the way across. A lot of vegetation, a lot of weeds. Okay. And in the morning when the fish will come out here and they'll feed out in these big weed flats.
Okay, okay. And it seems like I said, the weather is getting a little bit cooler. This is top water this time of the year, and we're about 3 weeks away from the event. So will it get better or will it get worse for top water?
It'll get better. I think if we get some cold weather, some wind, water temperature drops about 5-6 degrees, I think swim bait.
Okay, swim bait. So early in the morning, guys, when you get out here, don't be afraid to throw that top water on these shallow flats that are in the middle.